another breakdown of UFC Vegas 116. Actor Lame versus The Lost. We back with another breakdown of a really bad main evented card that outside the main event is not great. There's a few jumps on this card, mainly on the main card, but the prelims are pretty lackluster, but no matter what, this card's gonna look terrible because the main event's terrible. Sterling and Zalal, come on now. That's a joke. Outside of that, a few jumps on the card. Jaime Barcelos, Nora Dumont, Davy Grant, Pilastri, Montague. Some alright fights there, but still really struggling to see much of anything too great. And yeah, it's much better than the Canada card. I would probably say no. It's not much better. It's a hair better on paper, and I don't think it could be much worse in execution. So I don't have the highest hopes for this card. Obviously, look at the main event, but maybe it could over-deliver. I'm gonna say unfucking likely, but possibility. Again, it had a few really good fights on it. A few fights for sure are gonna be good, but there's also a few fights that are for sure pathetic. And yeah, I definitely have my doubts about this card, so we'll see what turns out to be. I was correct about the Canada card being terrible and not over exceeding expectations. I feel like the same thing will happen here. So trip to the Apex, Apex cards have not been the worst so far this year, but this one is definitely the worst on paper. And yeah, not super looking forward to it, but again, maybe it could over-deliver. So it's a trip to the Apex in a kind of a bad couple of weeks for the UFC until 328, and let's see what happens. What more can I really say there? Well, I can only say so much without just wasting time after a while without getting into this. So yeah, it's a bad card. The main event's shit, and there's a few good fights on the card, but there's a lot of terrible ones. And yeah, 13 fights from the Apex, our favorite empty shithole. Let's see what happens, I guess. Got right no other choice but to break it down, so let's do just that, shall we? Last thing to say before we do is, of course, the normal YouTube bullshit of please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that being said, I can't really think of much more that can be added here outside of talk about the card a little bit to the YouTube bullshit. I think that only leaves us one thing left to do, and that is 13 fights to break down. UFC Vegas 116 can be as good as what's Vallejo's card 114. Can be as good as that one. I doubt it. Can be better than Canada, I hope. UFC Vegas 116 breakdown. You ready? I know I'm not, but I got no choice. Let's get into it. UFC Vegas 116 breakdown. Begin. At the beginning with our first fight of the night. Actually, the best prelim on the card, if we're being honest, and my favorite fighter on the card beginning of the night. So I'm either going to begin this card extremely happy or extremely pissed off. As we begin the night in the women's straw weight division with my favorite fighter on the card. One of my favorite fighters in the UFC top 3. And we have the open night number 3 in battle at strawweight for UFC Vegas 116. We have Talita Problem Child Alenka versus Julia Psycho Pilastri. Well, again, UFC is trying to make me look at this card in a better light, starting off with my girl Pilastri. Fun start. Again, I think this is the best prelim pretty soundly, but it's opening the card, so the card should start decent enough at least. And yeah, well, Brazilian battle here. Pilastri Street's fun, one of my faves. Alencar. should be an alright enough start. And one of the rare decent fights on this prelims, and let's talk about it, shall we? Beginning with our first fighter of the night, the very tiny Brazilian, easily the tiniest fighter on the card, which said a lot. The first fighter of the night, Thalita Alencar. 7-1-1, 35 years old, 5-1, 3-1 UFC. Her coming off Contender Series, well, not really. She got signed on short notice, so pretty much off Contender Series. In the UFC, she has beat Rayan Dos Santos. No, she fucking didn't. That was a robbery. So really, she's 2-2 in the UFC. She did beat Vanessa Demopoulos and Ariane Cornelosi, and she did lose to Dos Santos and Luciano. Yeah, Alencar ain't great. Like, the easiest way I can describe her is she's just tinier Jacqueline Amorim. To be honest, that's the simple, long and short answer of how I would describe Alencar. She's literally just a tiny Amorim. Her striking is pretty irrelevant. Her grappling's alright. Cardio is pretty bad. She's kind of a one-trick pony. She's gonna try and get you down and keep you there. It might work against your Demopoulos and your shitty Ariane Cornelosis, but then we're against Luciano 2 times, and yeah, she's just not that good, to be honest. She's super one-dimensional and super tiny. The same issue a lot of strawweights I've been running into lately, of just being small. Too small, in fact. So now we have Alencar. Let's see if she can break the losing streak for the tiny strawweights, and yeah, we know her game plan again. Just a tiny Jacqueline Amorim, whose game plan is always just lay on you. Again, they have shit cardio, and she has no striking. So it's not like Alencar is gonna come out here with some great game plan. And it's gonna be take the fight down and hope you can lay on Pilarstri. Pretty simple. Got a nice submission last time out, but it was against Ariane Cornelosi, which says nothing, so... And, yeah, we'll see what Alencar can do here. Like always, a smaller fighter, and like always, still with one-dimensional game plan. See if it can work here, though. As she is fighting maybe the best unranked fighter in this division. I'm trying to think close to unranked. I think the case can definitely be made for the opponent here, that being the also Brazilian and my top 3 favorite fighter in the UFC. Julia Pilarstri, 14-5, 28 years old, 2-2 in the UFC, coming off the Contender Series. In her debut, she had a close fight with Knudsen, still probably a bullshit decision, but we move on from there. Easily beat Corey McKenna, stepped down short notice against Lupe Godinez, and almost won that fight, put up a great fight. And then the last time out, got a round 3 finish, which I predicted, against Karolina Kowalkiewicz in Brazil. And now she gets her first fight, 2026. Pilastri's good. Pilastri's good. She's a little fucking badass. She has pretty good cardio. Her striking's really good. She has good power. Durable. She doesn't mind being in a fight. Her one flaw, at least as of her last 2 losses, is grappling. Has been a bit of an issue. Knudsen really only beat her because she could get the fight down. Godinez kind of just laid on her early in the fight, so that's kind of been Pilastri's kryptonite as of so far in the UFC. But now fighting someone smaller than her, we'll see if she can actually keep the fight standing this time. This is the rare time she's a bigger fighter at 5'2", and I feel like it's going to look much bigger in face-offs, how her advantage is. And, yeah, Pilarstri's not bad, truly. Like, you're biased a little bit. But I'm also honest. I think Pilastri is very good. I think she is a ranked level fighter. I think she's better than Mizuki. I think she, well, no one beats Angela Hill if you're a prospect, but I think she's much fucking better than a few ranked fighters. And she, again, her grappling's a little weak, but outside that, she's good. She's fucking really good. Like, I get her record ain't great in the UFC or in general, but those records are kind of misleading with Pilastri, which have happened before with fighters, and see how she does here against a grappler. She's not done great so far, but we'll see if she can do better here and get her third UFC win. So I think she's talented. I think she's a top 15 level fighter, maybe the best unranked fighter right now in this division. And see what she can do here. Can she improve that grappling enough to win a fight like this? Let's find out, because her striking is much better and her cardio is much better, but can she keep it in that realm? The betting odds are saying yes, having Pilarstri minus 240 to minus 240 to plus 200. A bit more like being completely honest, that's a bit wide. Pilarstri could probably be like minus 210, 220, almost 250 is a lot. It makes sense, but again, that worry of Pilarstri not being able to stop takedowns will always be there, so I definitely think that should be factored in a bit. And well, that's me being honest. Let's keep that in mind. Pilarstri is 1 inch taller, but I feel like it's for a little bit more than that. Big reach advantage. And Alan Carr, pretty much a pick'em here. Alan Carr was like 70% picked at the start of the week. I guess more people are actually looking into this fight and not just looking at the 7-1 record to 14-5. So which way am I going here? Obviously, I'm going with one of my favorite fighters. A, because I think she will win. B, I'm biased a bit. I'm going Pilarstri here. I think she should win this. I think round 1 could be a bit bad, where she might get held on the cage a little bit. But I think round 2, she'll start piecing her up with striking, stuffing, takedown, sprawling, whatever. And I see her really taking over, or maybe not. Maybe Alan Carter lays on her like the Demopoulos fight. But Knudsen couldn't lay on her, and she's much bigger. Loopy laid on her, but Loopy is much better and stronger than Alan Carr and younger. And I just think Pilarstri should be able to have the better cardio over 15 minutes in a fight that probably doesn't end in a finish and get the decision here. So I'm going to go Julia Pilarstri by decision, probably 29-28 to be honest. Could there be a finish here? I guess Alan Carr could get a submission, but it's unlikely. Pilarstri could get a knockout, but Luciano hit Alan Carr with some big shots and couldn't get her down, so more than likely this goes 15, but does it go 15 because Alan Carr laid on her and won, or does Pilarstri keep standing and win? We'll see, but I'm going to go Pilarstri here. Yes, biased, but also honest. And I'm on a roll right now. Jasmine and Casey won, so let's see if my third fighter can get the win here, and I think she will. So give me Julia Pilarstri by decision to start the night, which will put me in a good mood for this card, which I'm gonna need. But yeah, don't think Alan Carr will be able to lay on her for 15 minutes. So give me the Psycho by decision here. Would love another Psycho finish, but I just don't see it. And give me my girl, Pilarstri by decision. Start tonight with a happy note, good note, whatever. And yeah, not really much else to say there. Give me my girl to get the win. And again, just like when I picked Casey and Jazz, I'm a bit biased, but I'm also honest. I think they will. I really think they will win. I got them. And then after that, we go to our first male fight of the night and our second fight of the night overall in the welterweight division. A fight that does not make a whole lot of sense, but you know, just sign anyone at this point if it makes any fucking sense. Who cares? And we have our second fight of the night, the beginning of the many old fighters on this card. I guess even Alan Carr could go into that category, being 35, but yeah, this guy's a little bit older. And then we have our second fight of the night in the welterweight division. I believe the only trip to welterweight tonight. We have our first male fight and our first old guy on the card with Max Payne Griffin versus Victor Piscosis Velezula. So, for some reason, losing on Contender Series is the best base to get signed, because why is Victor here? Dude's won one fight since Contender Series lost, and the guy he lost to ain't even have his debut yet, so make that make sense. But, yeah, not really a fight that makes much sense, but Sure, and they love signing guys who lost on Contender Series, but they won't sign deserving fighters like Julia Martinez, so I think that makes sense. Let's talk about Max Griffin, though, the guy who should be here, even though he is getting up there in age. 20 and 12, 40 years old, been in UFC forever again, getting up there in age. Old man Max Griffin, 8 and 10 in the UFC, and I can go over his whole UFC career, but in the last couple years, he went on a nice winning streak in the 2020s, Ramirez, Kanan, and Condit, retiring Condit, but ever since that fight, been very win-lose. He probably beat Neil Magny, but whatever. Beat Tim Means, fought Michael Morales, obviously ain't win that one. Beat Jeremiah Wells, and then I've lost 2 straight to Mike Chiesa and Chris Curtis. You know, he probably won the Chris Curtis fight. Though, for being honest, in his last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we'll just say 10, he really should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 4, which would look a lot better than 5 and 5. But, you know, judges don't like him too much. He didn't look good against Chiesa. He did look pretty alright against Curtis again, probably winning that fight. Kind of a decision machine, expect that late as the last couple years have went, but still pretty solid fighter again. Means, Condit, Wells, not the greatest ones in the world, but again, probably beat Neil, beat Curtis. So, dude is still winning fights and looking decent, but he's just either getting fucked by the judges or fought Michael Morales in a last resurgence Chiesa. So now coming into this fight, the easiest fight he's had in a long time since fucking Zalal or fucking Eric Montano. Like, Max Griffin usually doesn't get really easy fights, but this definitely is the easiest fight he's had in a long time. First debut opponent he's fought in a long time. I think Ramirez was in his debut for that fight, so now he gets another debut opponent here, and David can make the most of it to save his UFC career here at 40 years old. Another loss here and falling to 3 in a row would end up in him either retiring or getting cut, so hopefully that does not happen. Hopefully he can walk away with a win here, but time will tell. Again, UFC giving him the easiest fight he's had in many years. Can he make the most of it and show he's still got a little bit left in the tank at 40? Find out with Max Payne. First of many old dudes on this card trying to defend their career versus younger guys. The younger guy in this fight being the debuting for some reason Victor Velezula from Chile. I guess they want another Chilean on the roster with Ignacio Bahamondes being an ass. 13 and 4, 32 years old. Was on Contender Series not even a year ago, where he got his ass handed to him by Michael Oliveira, who has not even debuted yet. Why, I don't know. He had a quick fight on the regional scene back in March, beating Kinoshita, former UFC guy, and now they signed him for some reason, because I guess they really like him. Yeah, I didn't see much on Contender Series that showed that Velezula is a UFC level guy. I think Michael Oliveira is really good, but Velezula did not show much. Got his ass beat. Showed some durability, I guess, but kind of was just a punch bag for a lot of that fight, and now he's in UFC debuting before the guy who beat him. That'll make that make sense. Yeah, I don't know why losing on Contender Series is the best base to get signed in the UFC at this point, but for some fucking reason it is, and maybe he's gotten better than Contender Series, or maybe Michael Oliveira is just that fucking good, but I'm gonna say I doubt it, and I just still don't understand this signing at all, so maybe it's just me. I don't fucking get it. I guess the betting odds to get it, though, having Victor the favorite here at minus 145 plus 125, I don't get that at all. If you don't want to make a 40-year-old the favorite, then make it a pick'em. There's no reason Victor should be the favorite here. Like, Max Griffin is still, let's be honest again, winning fights, and even if he ain't, he's losing to guys who are much better than Victor Velezula, and And Max has not shown any sense of declining to the extent of where he would lose to guys this low down the totem pole, but maybe he will. I doubt it, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and he is completely cooked. But I guess until I fully see it, I'm not gonna believe those betting odds. Max is much taller, well not much, but 2 inches taller, and has a much bigger reach advantage, but Zalal is 73% picked, and I'm gonna take my first underdog here. Give me Max Griffin. I don't understand this fight. I don't understand these odds. Like, if the UFC wanted to give Max Griffin a lower level opponent, why not Billy Ray Golf? Why not Daniel Frunza? Why not fucking I don't know, Rodrigo Cezinando? Why did you have to sign some can? So I don't understand it, but that's the UFC for you, and I'm gonna go Max Payne here. Until I see it happen, I'm not gonna believe Max Griffin is gonna start losing to jobbers again. Even if you scored the Magny and Curtis fight for the guys who won the fight, still those guys are much better than Victor Venezuela, and Max Griffin has not shown any sense of losing to guys this far down the totem pole, so I'm going Mad Max here. Give me Max Griffin by decision. That would get a finish. If we did, it would probably be by Victor, and that would seal in Max Griffin's retirement or release. I'm gonna say that doesn't happen, and I'm gonna ride with Unk here. Give me Max Griffin by decision. I think he still got it. At least enough to be a guy this much under him, in my opinion, and give me Uncle Max by decision. And a lot of old dudes on this card. We'll see how they do. Again, could Max just be completely cooked and Victor beats him? Sure. Do I think that happens? No. Give me Max Griffin by decision. First underdog of many on this card. And, yeah, what more can I really say there? Give me Unk. I'm not picking Victor Venezuela until I see a reason to. Give me old man Griffin by decision. After that, we get to our third fight of the night, the fight for the Apex card that got added late during the week, like they've been doing a lot lately, and I actually love that they are doing that, trying to fill out cards more, as we have added on Monday, I believe, in our third fight of the night at lightweight, even though at least one of these guys is a featherweight usually, but for short notice and trying to fill the card, which again, I love. This will be at lightweight, as we have in our third fight of the night, on short notice to fill the card, which is awesome. Be as good as Kamaka and Hope, please. We have Francis, Fire, Marshall versus Lucas, Sky, Walker, Brennan. UFC had to throw something together on short notice to make it a 13-fight card, and I love it. Again, can this be as good as Kamaka and Hope, please? I hope that it is, and that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Love the UFC doing this lately, and see what happens here. We know one guy, no one knows the other. Talk about it. Beginning with the UFC regular here, back. I thought he would. Like, it's respecting or taking a fight like this, but he really shouldn't have. He should have been waiting for a higher level fight. But whatever. We have Francis Marshall, 9-3, 27 years old, 4-2 in UFC for being. I think he should be 5-1. Coming off Contender Series, his wins have been Marcelo Rojo, William Gomez out of the robbery, Dennis Bazukia, he beat Myron Santos, and he just beat Eric Silva a few months ago. His only real loss in the UFC was to Isaac Dulgarian, which kind of shows that Dulgarian's a fucking idiot for faking that fight, but whatever. Marshall's pretty good. Again, a dude who really should be 5-1, beat Santos and Gomez. Like, his other ones are kind of shitty. And even, actually, all of his ones are kind of shitty. Dulgarian is the best fighter he fought and he lost, so what did that tell you? But Marshall's solid. Striking's fine. Wrestling's really good. Cardio's alright. Chin's fine. Like, dude's solid. Dude's seems to be a very solid prospect, really hitting his stride now in UFC. I was hoping he would get a much bigger fight than this against me, like a top 30 guy at featherweight. But if you want to take a fight quickly, why is he not on 328 since he's fighting out of Jersey? And, yeah, we'll see what happens here, taking a short notice fight against a debutant. Respect for that. And, see what happens with the fire marshal here. Do that, should be 5-1 right now in UFC. Pretty solid fighter, and taking a risk here, see if it pays off. As he is fighting the debuting Bellator reject from many years ago, Lucas Brennan. UFC loves signing these Bellator guys lately. 11-2, 25 years old, making his UFC debut here on shortish notice on a 2-fight winning streak, beating Joshua Weems. Remember that Apex camp from a few years ago. Went on a losing streak, lost his O a few years ago. Outside of Weems, no notable names on his record. Yeah, this dude doesn't look to be too great. Apparently, he was some prospect at some time, 8-0 in Bellator. I think did he get the Aaron Pico treatment? He did, just fighting in Bellator in his debut. He beat Will Smith, for whatever that's worth. His 2 losses are to 2 guys. I think I remember their records are pretty shitty, and Weems is the only name anyone's ever heard of on his record. Yeah, it looks like they just grabbed the nearest guy they could to step in and fight, so maybe he's better than his record shows. I fucking doubt it. And, yeah, what more can I say here? Again, good for him to get the shot. Happy that he took it, and we got another fight on this card. But, yeah, he looks to be a nothing burger of a fighter, so prove me wrong, though. The betting odds say he definitely will not, having Marshall minus 600, the biggest favorite on the card, or tied for at least. It's minus 600 plus 450. Goddamn, let's think this guy sucks. Actually, Marshall was very good. I can't say I agree or disagree with those odds, but I don't hate him. Brennan is an inch taller, but Marshall has an inch in reach, and is 89% picked. And I will agree there. I'll go Francis Marshall as well by decision. Should win this fight. Better fighter. What more can you really say here? Unless this Brennan dude is just much better than his record shows. He is young, 25 years old. To already have a pretty deep Bellator and MMA career. That's not bad, a lot of experience. But if he's just not that good, he's not that good. And, yeah, Marshall should beat him here, so give me Francis Marshall by decision, unless Brennan is an Easton Ewing and he's fucking great out of nowhere, which I doubt. Give me Francis Marshall by decision. Could have finished happen here, I guess, but Marshall ain't really the greatest of finishers, and Brennan is probably not going to win, so give me Francis Marshall by decision, unless Brennan's shockingly great. Should be I did say John Giannis last week, so what does that tell you? But I don't think that's going to happen. Again, give me Marshall by decision to get the win here. Can't get it to be as good as Kamaka and Hope. I doubt it, but we can dream. And give me Francis Marshall by decision. Speaking of short notice, this was a short notice replacement, not a short notice fight booked. And the replacement for probably the worst, but, now we save the fight on the card. As after that, we go to our fourth fight of the night, in the flyweight division, a fight that changed on short notice about a weekish ago. Again, was it for the better? Not really, but, yeah, got saved at least. Could have been worse. As we have our fourth fight of the night, in the flyweight division. First of a back-to-back old fighters on a losing streak who need a win. We have Rafael Pastor Filho versus Cody Custom-Made Durden. This was originally meant to be Lucas Rocha and Rafael Filho, but Rocha pulled out. Durden, like always, steps in, and Durden gets one more chance to save his career. Could have been worse. Could have got that idiot from The Ultimate Fighter with the toy hammer or someone else, but Durden's always the first person to call that flyweight in. Now he gets one more chance on a 4-fight losing streak against Rafael Filho. See what happens here. Let's talk about the man who was meant to be on the card from the start, Rafael Filho. 17-4, 32 years old, gonna be 33 in a few weeks, from Nuevo União. 3-2 in the UFC. His wins have come out contender series. His wins have been Daniel Barez, Ode Osborne, and Clayton Carpenter. His 2 losses have been Muhammad Mukayev and Alan Nascimento. His wins in the UFC are not great. Barez sucks, Ode and Clayton sucks. His losses, Mukayev, whatever, and Nascimento. That was a really off night for Filho. Maybe whatever excuse he had was true, that he kind of just shit the bed there. More than Al Nascimento's really that fucking good, and that could also be true. So either way, Filho's bounced back since, and now we see what he can do here against a veteran like Durden, who, if he were to win the fight, would probably be his best win. So what does that tell you? Filho's not a world beater, but he's a pretty alright fighter. His grappling's really solid again from Nuevo União, no shocker. His striking is okay, it's not great. Like, most fights you're not gonna see him trying to strike. I don't think he has it all in the UFC yet, because I remember the Barez fight, he got fucked up pretty badly on the feet, so yeah, striking is not for him, but really good on the ground. 11 submissions, 3 in the UFC. Dude's not bad. Fuck, really should have submitted Mukayev. So he has a little bit of striking, obviously, but again, it's not his strong suit. It's not what he tries to do. And we know his bread is buttered on the ground, so that's where he tries to get. He has a good submission, solid fighter, prospect, whatever in this division. One of the better unranked guys, I would say. And yeah, see what he can do here. The guy who's meant to be on his card from the start. New opponent, same game plan. See what he can do here. Him and Bryce Mitchell are gonna fucking throw Bibles at each other. See who's the only one who can carry it around in the cage. As for the opponent here, a guy who at one point was one of the better unranked guys, or even ranked guys, but now he is on a bad losing streak, looking very old. That being the short notice replacement, Cody Durden, a guy we truly cannot escape. 17-10-1, 35 years old, 6-8-1 in UFC, and in his last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights, he's 1-6. Not good. He went on a nice winning streak back in 2022-2023. Johnson, Mota, Hadley, etc. But ever since then, he's gotten older and just really started to fall off. Tagir beat him. Bruno knocked him out. He looked good that fight. Snow he beat, but then everything started to go wrong. Van beat him. Ochoa beat him. Nascimento beat him. And Termendembro beat him. That's in the span of under 2 years. So he's active, but he's a level. Like, Termendembro kind of sucks, but outside of that, the rest of the losses are pretty okay fighters, or really good. The champion is in there. Or he's just, again, against like Termendembro, he kind of just shit the bed. So Durden was solid at one point, but now he looks older and slower. His grappling is kind of shitty now. Termendembro beat him pretty easily there. His striking was never world class to begin with. The chin's gotten weaker. So he maybe still has a little bit of power in his hands, but it's not great. And he just looks really old again. So we'll see what he can do here, if he can save his career, bounce back, whatever. But he's not getting an easy fight to do so on short notice, no less. This is his last chance. Like, the Termendembro fight really should have been that, but again, maybe had one fight left on the deal, and they're giving him the chance to save his career, so we'll see if he can. He was good at one point, but now he's really fallen off. Not a bad thing, because he's a douche, but see if he can save his career against a very tough opponent on short notice. Usually how Durden fights, it's on short notice, and Last chance. See what you can do here. The thing I'd say is he do very bad, having Javier Filho minus 650 at plus 475. Yeah, I kinda can't even, disagree with that. I've been someone who's kind of doing Durden a little more respect than most, but yeah, even I can say those odds seem pretty accurate for a 4-fight losing streak. Very old and bad looking Durden lately, so we'll see though. Phil, they're the same height, and Phil has 1.5 inches in reach, and is 97% picked, and I'm going to agree there. I'm going to go Rafael Filho here to get the win. Is this at bantamweight? This is at bantamweight, but it's the flyweight fight. Yeah, I'm going to go Filho here. He is my lock of the night. I don't love making my lock against Cody Durden, but I see no better options, and Filho should win. On the feet, neither guy's great, and Filho might be a hair better, but on the ground I think Filho will be able to do very well like Terman Dembaro did, and yeah, we'll see what he can do here. How do I think he wins? I'm gonna go, does he win by submission or decision? I'm gonna think probably submission. If Terman Dembaro can keep you down there for that long and all that, I'm gonna go Javier Filho by submission in the second, I believe. I think he can catch Durden in something very quickly and win a scramble, a guillotine, something like that. And I think he can get a win like that, or he can just 30-27 his way to win. I wouldn't be shocked, but I feel submission here, and I think that's what will happen. So give me Rafael Filho by submission in the second. My luck of the night over old man Durden. Could Durden spring the upset? I would say yes, but he was willing to find a fountain of youth very quickly, and I don't think he's finding that shit anytime soon. So give me Rafael Filho by submission in the second. My luck of the night to extend my record to 12-1 ideally, and yeah, not really much more to say there. So give me, again, I don't love making my lock versus Durden, but it seems like the best option. I'll take my chances and give me Rafael Filho to end Durden's UFC career with a submission in the second, and as my lock of the night. Speaking of lock of the night, this was almost my lock of the night, but I trust Filho a hair more, but I feel like both of them are going to win, so you kind of go tomato there, after having our 6th fight of the night in the one bantamweight division for a ranking, I believe number 12. Don't know why she's still in the UFC or ranked, but whatever. Got an interesting prospect on the other side here. They have to women's bantamweight for probably the second best fight on these prelims, which should tell you a lot. As we have Chitara Mayra Bueno Silva versus the wild one Michelle Montague a week before the Perth card. Man, she kind of got shafted there, didn't she? Yeah, Myra still in the UFC for some reason on a 4-fight winning streak of her own, and fighting for her job here, defending her ranking against a prospect. Kind of shocked to think Bia and Myra. Thought they would give Bia a fight like this before Montague, but either way, they're both going to be ranked sooner than later, so why not? And yeah, don't really think this is some complicated fight to predict, but things I'll talk about real quick. So kind of the female version of Durden Filho, I guess. Unless the Brazilian would not be Filho in this situation. That Brazilian being the ranked on a long losing streak fighter here, Mayra Bueno Silva. 10-6-1, 34 years old, 5'6", really 6'1" UFC for being honest. She's definitely had better times in UFC than coming into this fight on a 4-fight losing streak. At one point, she was kicking ass in the UFC after moving up to bantamweight, going on a 4-fight winning streak against Yanan Wu, Stephanie Egger, Lena Landsberg, and Holly Holm, leading to a title shot against Raquel Pennington, which was a loss and kind of exposed all the problems in her game, and then ever since she continued losing, Chesson beat her, she tried to go back down flyweight, Vicious beat her, and Cavalcanti beat her a few months ago, now trying one more chance to save her UFC career. Now she has to fight a prospect trying to take her spot in Montague. We'll see how this goes for Myra. I think it's going to go about the same way all of her fights go lately. She either gets outclassed on the feet or on the ground. In this case, to be on the ground. Probably a lot like the Jasdovicius fight. Myra has about a round of cardio, no striking, and if a fight ain't going her way, she doesn't mind just laying there and letting the fight go. Happened against Pennington, happened against fucking Jasdovicius. She will just let the fight fade away and take the L, so 4 in a row now, haven't gotten better, getting older, not improving, just seems like it's gonna be the same song and dance with Shitara. She's gonna gas and lose a decision. That's what happens at this point. I don't see anything else happening. The person to get Myra out to UFC and beat her again is the undefeated New Zealander, who again kind of got shafted fighting a week before the Australia card, but you know, well, unlucky there. That being the interesting prospect of Michelle Montague, 7-0, 32 years old, Kayla Harrison training partner, 1-0 in UFC. In her UFC debut, she beat Tubby Luana Carolina, that dumb fuck, and looked okay. Definitely won only because she could get a takedown. Her striking is not phenomenal, but her grappling is pretty strong, and she looked pretty decent in that fight, so decent enough to get the win. So now fighting Shitara, probably much the same, and might be a case where she might actually be the better striker in this fight, so, you know, we still haven't seen a lot from Montague yet. Well, again, her striking is not phenomenal, her grappling looks pretty alright, cardio looks fine. Like, this ain't really a test to see how good she is. Hopefully that happens in her next fight. But, yeah, not really much to say. We haven't seen a lot from Montague, just 15 alright minutes against Carolina. Now getting a step up, but not a tough one. I don't think she's on the level of BMS Guetta, but who is? And, yeah, we'll see what Montague can do here, trying to get a ranking a week before Australia's card. The betting odds say she will take that ranking at minus 355 plus 285. Yeah, I think she could easily be minus 500 here, and there'd really not be a worry about it or debate, so she is much bigger reach, and 94% picked. Yeah, give me Montague here by decision. What more can I really say there? Again, Shitara just kind of looks, well, not kind of, she just looks defeated. We know what she's good at, we know what she sucks at, and mainly everything on the second half of that. Montague might be the better striker here, if not like Myra's gonna piece her up. It's gonna be a grappling match, and maybe Myra does good early, but she's going to fade and lose late. And I see Montague just ending this fight on top, probably getting a little bit of ground and pound, maybe bloodying up Myra a bit, and getting a decision here. So, give me Michelle Montague by decision. Could have been locked tonight, of course. It almost was, but I trust feel a bit more, or maybe and yeah, I just don't see Myra breaking the streak in UFC, so should lose here, and yeah, unless she magically learned how to do everything she sucks at in the span of 4 months, 5 months, which ain't gonna happen. She's gonna lose this fight and get cut, so give me Michelle Montague by decision. She's gonna be a decent enough prospect, and she should win this fight pretty easily, so give me Montague by decision. Not really much more to say there. Myra had better days a few years ago. Now she's exposed. Montague should give her walking papers after another loss. Give me the Aussie a week before the Aussie card. How fucked is that? Oh boy. And then we get into the garbage portion of this card, because these next 3 fights are fucking atrocious and some of the worst fights of 2026, so I'm not going to waste much time on them. As we begin with the co-main of the prelims, and that should say a lot. In the middleweight division, a terrible fight where someone has to sadly win, even though they're both horrendous. We have in the first of the big 3 of awful on this card, Cedricus the Reaper Dumas versus Jackson the Moose McVeigh. We gotta watch this shit. I gotta pick this shit if I'm gonna make that joke for the next 2 fights as well. Someone has to win this shit. Or else I'm not gonna waste your time for these 3 fights. Cedricus dumbass, we know him too well outside the cage. In the cage, he's fucking terrible. If he actually tries, he's a very whatever fighter. But when he shows up like he did against Dante Johnson, barely tries, he's a joke. So, he's an asshole. Always good to see him lose. He's an asshole, and it's always good to see him lose. And, yeah, he's just not a really good fighter. Is he the worst middleweight? No. But he's not far from it, and, what am I meant to say then? If he actually tries, he could win this fight. As for the opponent here, the 0-2 Jackson McVeigh, losing to Bruno Ferreira and Zach Reese. He did okay against Reese, but he did lose in the end, and he's just not that good. The long and short of it, he's just a terrible fighter. He's tall, and that's about it. Outside of that, yeah, he sucks, and the loser here gets cut. The winner should get cut as well, but we're not that lucky. And, yeah, what's gonna happen here? We're betting on being minus 200 for Jackson McVeigh. It's fucking insane that you could be confident in either side here. Complete pick'em. Take your guess, it's as good as mine. McVeigh is 2 inches taller, Dumas is 2 inches of reach, and McVeigh is 68% picked. I can't fucking believe I'm saying this. We're gonna do this, but I think I'm on the underdog here. I think Dumas, if he shows up as the best here, is the better fighter. If he can show up here like he did against Tulian and Brundage and whoever the fuck... Did he beat Brundage? I think he did. Like he did in those fights. Babu Zaitar, I think he'll win this. I think he is better than McVeigh, and I can't believe he might actually be the better fighter in a fight, but that seems like the case here. McVeigh, I just don't see anything with this guy. I think he's a joke, and I think Dumas should win this. I think he's a better fighter. As much as I want to pick McVeigh and be biased and hate Dumas, I just think he's the better fighter here, and I think he will win it. So sadly, I can't fucking believe I'm doing it, but give me Cedricus dumbass by decision. Can't believe I'm picking him, but I think he gets the win here, and what more can I really say? So I think McVeigh is terrible. Well, he could easily win this fight because Dumas is Dumas, but I'm gonna say that doesn't happen, and give me Cedricus Dumas by decision. I just think McVeigh's awful. I really think if Dumas shows up at his best here and not like he did in his last few fights, I think he can win. So it pains me to say, but give me Cedricus Dumas by decision. Ugh, feels gross saying that. And what also feels gross is this featured prelim, the hardest fight to pick on the card, because I don't know how you can be confident in either pathetic side here. As we have in our featured prelim, which might be even more disgusting than anything else, in the middleweight division, a complete shit fight, as if the last one wasn't bad enough. We have, and I don't know if that fucking loud bullshit blocked me out there, but is this fight, do you really care? In the featured prelim, Rodolfo Vieira versus Eric McConico. What the fuck is this, man? Why did I just see these two get knocked out at fucking, was it 3:22, I believe, 3:23, one or the other, and said, yeah, let's have them fight. Like, literally on the same card they fought, lost, and now they're fighting each other. Oh boy, yeah, I don't need to waste time here. Rodolfo Vieira, we know what we're getting with him. He's been the same fighter his whole UFC career. He's a very, very bad striker. His grappling is fine, but he gasses real easily, and he can struggle grappling at times. After McConaughey 1-2 in the UFC, that one was against Cody Brundage. Losses in the Sultan and Baisanger Susurkayev. He actually did not do awful in Susurkayev, but that just might be how shit Susurkayev is. And, yeah, both in their mid-30s, both very terrible. Minus 245 for Rodolfo. I think that's way too high. I think the bare minimum this should be maybe minus 130 for Rodolfo, and even that might be a bit high. I would say a pick 'em if anything. And I don't want to pick, watch, or anything of this fight. But, you know, I'm not that lucky. Both are 6 feet, 70, so McConaughey had a big reach advantage, 77 to 73, but Vieira's 87% picked. I could see McConaughey winning this fight easily, but I also could see him just getting laid on in a shitty fight, so... Give me Rodolfo Vieira, I guess, by decision. I see this fight being sloppy garbage. Maybe it could be like a Tresean Gore fight where Rodolfo wins a little bit on the feet, but more than likely that doesn't happen. And he kind of holds him on the cage and wins a nothing of a fight, so... If McConaughey wins this fight, I'm gonna be pissed because I've really considered picking him here, but I'll go Rodolfo. I think he can squeak out a win a bit better, and yeah, give me Rodolfo Vieira by decision. What more can I say there? Both are terrible. Hardest fight to pick on the card because I don't trust either, and yeah, I could see McConaughey winning this, but if he does, I'm gonna be fucking furious because I fucking almost picked him, but God, I hope this is cancelled tomorrow. Give me Rodolfo Vieira by decision, I guess. They're both terrible, and I actually might like the Dumas fight better, so not really much more I can say there. And there you go. That's the prelims. Are they good? No. Pilastri is a good fight. Montague's alright. Silho, Griffin, cool, I guess. Marshall's alright. This is all fine. If you just had this be the prelims, it would be watchable. Adding these two can battles on definitely weakens the card tenfold, and yeah, not good. That's gonna end the prelims on such a fucking whimper note. It's not even funny, but you know, why not? So good, fine enough first 5 fights, terrible last 2 fights, and what more can I really say here? So that's about that. And do we have to get to the main card? It's better, but they're still not perfect. Guess we do. Let me get over with. As we have 6 more fights to talk about on the main card, and one is the worst fight on the card, so make that make sense. Let's do it. Prelims done, main card time. As we begin with the worst fight on the card in general, in the main card opener at heavyweight. God, this is the most pathetic fight I've ever seen. As we have our main card opener to open the main card with the worst fight on the card for UFC Vegas 116. We have at heavyweight. Ugh, this is awful. Marcus Buchecha versus Ryan Superman Span. Originally, this was meant to be Max G. Menace and Alan Fry. That fight was much better. What the fuck am I looking at here? This is the worst fight on the card easily. Buchecha is not a fighter. He's a fucking joke. I don't know what to say here. Should be 0-2 in the UFC. He's so shit, it's not even funny. As for the opponent here, Ryan Spann, a guy who we've done the same song and dance with for 10 years now. He wins the fight, he's a prospect, he can make some noise, he loses. Like, he's so shit. At heavyweight, he is a 1-1. Good job. And, I don't know, Waldo loss at least is understandable. Bresky, shocker. Do I gotta watch and pick this shit? Another fight I hope gets cancelled tomorrow. The betting odds have Buchecha the favorite. Fuck if I know why or care. Spann's much taller and bigger reach. And the pick favorite here at 74%. Yeah, I'm going Ryan Spann here. I actually think he's much better. Buchecha is a complete one-trick pony. And he's not even good at that one trick. And, yeah, give me Ryan Spann here. I'll say knockout round 1. He should be able to find the chin of Buchecha and put him out, because Buchecha is terrible. So, one more can I really say here. Give me Ryan Spann by knockout in the first. When he shows up halfway competent, he can win fights, and he should win this fight. So, give me Spann by knockout in the first. Not really much more I can say there. Buchecha is awful, Spann is awful, but somehow better, and nothing more to really say there. Awful fight to be in the main card with the worst fight on it. Great. Thank God after that we get back to actually decent fights and back-to-back bantamweight bangers on this card. And we go to a real main card opener, for being honest, in the second fight of the main card in the bantamweight division for the number 14th ranking, I believe. A banger. Finally a good fight, like a legitimately really good fight. We have in our second fight of the main card, the real main card opener, the main card opener though, as bantamweight comes in to save the day on this shitty card. We have Montel, Quick, Jackson versus Ione Barcelos. Who does not love Uncle Ione? Montel Jackson coming off a bad fight. Ione finally getting his ranking opportunity, long overdue. Let's see what happens here. As we begin with the man trying to defend his ranking and keep Ione from his. We have Montel Jackson, 15-3, 33 years old. Actually the most active he's been in the UFC, it seems. 9-3 in the UFC, coming off Contender Series. Went on a really nice winning streak, beating Strader, JP Bice, Julio Arce, Ronnie Yaya, Demond Blackshear, and Daniel Makos. Just for that to all go up in flames against Davidson Figueiredo, where he looked terrible. Still could have won the fight, but he didn't. And, yeah, he can only blame himself for that fight, really, because for 15 minutes, he either got taken down or just stared at Figueiredo, so good job, dumbass. That was a terrible fight, and now all of his momentum and hype is gone. Now he's fighting unranked, guys. What does that tell you? Fighting another old Brazilian here. We'll see what Montel does here. See if he can actually wake up and fight here instead of whatever the fuck that Figueiredo fight was. Dude has good power in his hands. He's a good striker. He's really big for the division at 5'10", so he has skills, but whatever the fuck happened against Figueiredo is not, if that happens again here, he's gonna end up in the same spot of losing. So dude has talent, but whatever happened against Figgy, that really hurt him. That really hurt his fucking stock. And see if he can wake the fuck up here and look like the Montel Jackson who went on that winning streak. As for the opponent here, maybe one of the more likable fighters in UFC lately, everyone's favorite uncle, Ione Barcelos, 21-5, 38 years old, Uncle Ione, baby, 10-4, has had a very interesting UFC career. Started off, couple wins, this is his second time having a lot of hype. His first set of hype happened in this area where he was, again, really hyped up. I remember the hype on Ione. talking about him against fucking O'Malley and Piotr, and then he lost 2 in a row, and then he was not doing too hot for a couple years, but then 2024 started, and he started winning fights, beat Quinones, beat Talbot, which really said a lot, Garbrandt and Simone. Now he's coming in here trying to get a ranking, which he should already have, because how does he not? But, yeah, we'll see if he can take a ranking here, and dude's still good. 38 years old, he still looks good. Again, he embarrassed Talbot, beat Garbrandt. The Simone fight was really close. Dude still got it at 38 years old. Dude is the top tier bantamweight. He's top 15 level, and I'm happy. I'm happy he's getting an opportunity here. He deserves it. He should already be ranked, and see if he can make the most of this opportunity. I believe, is this the first time he's ever getting a top 15 shot? If so, that's sad, because he already should have got one, but better late than never, and let's see you make the most of it, man. What more can I really say there? He deserves it. I'm happy for Uncle Ione. Let's see him get a ranking already. The betting I'd say that is not going to happen, having Montel as the favorite here at minus 150. All I can say is, when will people ever learn if Ione? You gotta stop counting him out. He's gonna keep winning. He's just that damn good. Like, betting odds keep counting him out, and they will never learn. Montel is much bigger in reach and height, but Ione's the pick favorite, 62%, and he should be. I'm going Uncle Ione. I'm not falling for it. I picked Simone, I picked Talbot. I'm not falling for it again. Uncle Ione is gonna win, man. He's gonna get his ranking, and betting odds are gonna have to stop counting him out eventually. He was the underdog against Simone, the underdog against Talbot, against Garbrandt, I believe, as well. Dude's good. Dude's good. He's gonna prove that he's good, and even more than he already has. And he's gonna get that ranking finally. One more can really say. He deserves it. Betting odds need to put some respect on his name, and give me highly over ourselves by decision here. He should win this fight. I really think he's better than Montel, truly, and people are never gonna learn to stop counting him out. Dude, at 38, hitting his prime, and he's gonna win this one, man. He's good. He's really fucking good, and didn't get that long overdue ranking, so what more can I really say here? Montel, unless Montel shows up like prime Montel and just throws bombs at his chin, Ione's gonna get the win here, and hopefully will stop getting counted out, because that man is good, and he deserves a ranking already. So I'm happy he's finally gonna get that ranking, and give me Uncle Ione by decision. Not very much else to say there. Best underdog on the card, because he keeps winning. And then, speaking of bantamweight bangers, let's just get to the fight of the night now. Do I need to explain much here outside of why this fight is gonna be fucking awesome? As we have in our third fight of the main card, the fight of the night. There's no world this fight isn't awesome. We have in our back-to-back at bantamweight a banger here that's just gonna be awesome. We have another Uncle Dangerous Davy Grant versus Adrian Luna Marietti. Just give this fight of the night now. There's nothing that's going to be better than this fight, because this is going to be just awesome, and I am so excited for this banger. Let's just dive right into it. Beginning with another uncle we all love, Davy Grant. Maybe the only likable British fighter, truly. 15-8, 40 years old, 8-7 in the UFC. Lately, his UFC career has been really intriguing. Probably should have a few more wins than he really does. Beat Luis Smolka and Rafael Sunsao. Really debatable fight with Daniel Makos. Beat Tavares and Blackshear. Then got caught by Jourdain. even if we go before that, Davey has been winning fights at a regular pace. Jonathan Martinez win. He beat Cheeto in their first fight. So dude's good. Dude could really be, if he would have got the Marcos decision, dude would be 9-6 right now. Like, that's pretty solid, and he's a solid fighter. Still, again, Jourdain caught him, but when Jourdain's on, he's really good, just... Because definitely he was not on against Kyler, but that's a different story. Davey's always in a banger if he's winning or losing, and it's awesome to see him here, so... Still going, 40 years old. What can you say about Davey? A guy who, kind of like Ione, might be older, but he can still go. And, yeah, he's still good. Still top bantamweight. And let's see if he can defend his spot here in the division against a debutant who's going to bring a war to him. But Davey's never shied away from a war. He has bombs in his hands, and he's good. But the man who is going to bring a war to him is a man who had a war on Contender Series now in his UFC debut here. That'd be Adrian Luna Martietti. 17-1, 30 years old, coming off Contender Series where he had that banger with Mark Vologden. Again, best fight in Contender Series history. Now he is in the UFC. His brother was on Contender Series a few years ago and lost, but now Adrian got in the UFC, and see what he can do here. We'll see what he can do here, getting a far from easy debut against Uncle Davey, and yeah, dude's not scared of a war, that's for damn sure. He is definitely fine to go have a war, and yeah, what more can I really say here? So we know what we're getting with Luna after that Contender Series fight. We're gonna go out there, have a banger. Not really much to say there. I can't wait. The betting odds here have Luna Martietti the favorite, minus 145 plus 125. Yeah, don't really agree with that too much. I think it should be a pick'em, because I'm not really confident in either side here. Davey could win any day of the week. Luna, we'll see how good he really is. Vlogman did not look very good last week, and yeah, we'll see what happens here. It's gonna be an interesting one. 10-year age gap, same height. Luna has 2 inches in reach and is 56% picked. Ooh, this is a tough one. What do I do here? Damn it. Fuck it. Give me Uncle Davey. I just think he can win this war. He's been in enough. He knows how to win them. Luna could win, or he could crack Davey's old chin. But I'm gonna say that doesn't happen. Davey's been in wars. He knows how to have them and win them. I think I'm going Davey here. Luna's not bad, but Vlogden looking pretty bad last week's a bad look for Luna. And I think Davey can go out there and win this. So give me the veteran. Give me the guy who's had many wars. Give me Davey Grant by decision. I think he can really take a fight to Luna here. Luna's gonna give the fight back, and it's gonna be a fight of the night, but I just think that Davey can get the win here. 10 years older, but a lot more experience and a lot more wars. So give me Davey Grant by decision. So hyped for this fight to be so damn good. And give me the underdog. Give me Unk. Give me Davey. Complete pick'em in my opinion, and I think the odds might even be a pick'em as well at this point. And I can't wait. What more can I really say here? So banger. Give me Uncle Davey. Hard to ever pick against him. And then after that, we got a little piss break in the middle of the main card, and our featured bout of the main card, definitely the one out of the middle of the main card I care about the least, because I don't find this fight interesting at all. We have in our featured bout of the main card in the lightweight division, fight between two guys I don't like at all, but you know, whatever. I hate one guy and I find the other guy very overrated. We have Alpha Gifted Garcia versus Alexander Elgron Chango Hernandez. Yeah, I don't really care for this fight at all. I think Hernandez is a joke. I don't think he is a joke. I think he's the same terrible fighter he's always been. And for Rafa Garcia, I've always thought he's a bit overrated. Ooh, great wins lately. Like, I just don't think this guy's that good. And, yeah, someone has to win this. Who takes it? The other fights are bad, and I can make fun of them. This fight's not bad, I just don't care. I really don't care, and I'm biased. I'm never gonna pick Hernandez, so give me the underdog here in Rafa Garcia. Again, I don't care about Alexander Hernandez one bit. I think he sucks, and hopefully there's no weird betting on chill with his fight. Hernandez is taller in reach and height, and is 86% picked. That I don't get. But a minor favorite for Hernandez, fine. Why is he, like, such a big pick favorite? Like, Rafa is probably the better fighter, I would say. Like, if you think Hernandez can do what Grant Dawson did, how? Hernandez has never really taken anyone down and dominated them. Like, Rafa's never really been knocked out like that, so I'm struggling to see what the fuck people are seeing here with Hernandez. Like, he's just not that fucking good, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just don't find, I think I know Hernandez sucks, and you're gonna get exposed again soon, if not by Rafa Garcia here, so give me Rafa Garcia by decision here. Better fighter, a bit biased by actually using Rafa's better, and yeah, what more can I say here? Somehow this garbage won 5 a night, but it won't deserve it. And yeah, Hernandez sucks. Give me Rafa Garcia. It's not a bad fight, I just don't care. Which might be worse. And then after that we go to the main event of the evening. And what really should be the main event, because it's so much better than the main event fight, and more important, but whatever, co-main is the real main, we all know it. The real main event of the evening this week, in the women's family division, a fucking banger and an important fight, which I never thought I'd say either of those things about this fight, but it is warranted here. As we have our co-main event of the evening in the women's family division, a fight that got better thanks to cancellations. We have in the real main event, Norma the Immortal Dumont versus Jocelyn El Pantera Edwards. Somehow Yana Santos pulling out this fight has made it better, because now we get Norma and Edwards, to the momentum-wise top-tier fighters in this division, both on winning streaks. Winner of this gets the title shot, in my opinion. I don't know how they wouldn't. And it's gonna be interesting, man. Dumont's the winning streak against Edwards' knockout streak. This is a banger. Main event. But if we're being honest, let's talk about it. Beginning with the fighter who should just be waiting for the winner of Nunez Harrison, but she wants to stay active, so good on her. The higher ranked of the two here, Norma Dumont, 13-2, 35 years old, 9-2 in the UFC. Really should be 8-3. She kinda lost her last fight, but it's what it is. Her wins in UFC have been Ashley Evans Smith, Felicia Spencer, Aspen Ladd, Danielle Wolf, Carol Hosa, Chelsea Chandler, Jermaine Durandamy, and Irene Aldana. Her losses have been Megan Anderson, Macy Chasson, and in most people's opinions, mine include, she lost to Katlyn Vieira. So he kinda got bailed out there. And now she really has to show up here and look better. Before that Vieira fight, she was looking good. Danielle Wolf dominated, Carol Hosa beat soundly, embarrassed Chelsea Chandler, retired Jermaine, fucking might have ended Irene Aldana's career. she's looking good. She knows how to win fights. That Catelyn fight was just bad. I don't know what she changed, but she looked different and she looked terrible as a fighter. So hopefully she goes back to looking like Dumont here like she did before. And if she does, we could be seeing on paper, a 7th win in a row, a 10th overall in the UFC for Dumont, and locking in the shot at the next title shot after Kayla Nunez. So, fuck, I don't disagree with the idea that they probably should have done Norma and Nunez when Kayla pulled out. So, at 324, I think that'd been really cool. But, whatever, I guess we're not that lucky. And, now we see what Norma can do here against Jocelyn. I guess the one fight that's most interesting to note on with Norma going into this one is the Megan Anderson fight, where she did get knocked the fuck out. So that's a real interesting one to look back on now, fighting a knockout artist like Edwards. But we'll see. Dumont has to just look like Dumont here, most importantly, and that is a fine striker who knows a well-rounded fighter. Not like that, you fucking weirdo. Well, maybe. She knows how to strike decent enough. She knows how to hug on the cage. Her takedowns are alright. Cardio is good. She's a solid fighter, but she can't look like how she did against Catelyn, because if she does, she ain't winning this fight. So see how she looks here. She can bounce back and look like Norm Dumont, the one on the long winning streak. But to continue that winning streak, she has to get through someone on their own winning streak in this one of knockouts, that being the best Edwards in the UFC, Jocelyn Edwards, 17-6, 30 years old, 8-4 in the UFC, now just finishing people. She, no point talking about her early UFC career, she's a different fighter now. She finished Tamari Vidal, knocked out Chelsea Chandler, knocked out Priscilla Cachoeira, and really knocked down Nora Knoll, but then had a submitter as well. This new angry Edwards is fucking terrifying, and this is, I don't know where or when the fuck this Edwards showed up, but it's crazy. Fucking 4 finishes in a row, 3 knockouts in a row. She has power in her hands, her striking is clean, grappling is getting better. She is fucking crazy. She deserves a fight like this. And if she were to win this, especially by knockout, how could you deny her a title shot? So, she looks good. She's looked the best she's ever looked, a completely different fighter from who we saw in her first set of UFC fights, the one who was scraping by on robberies, and now she looks phenomenal, and now she's getting a gigantic opportunity to snatch a title shot and a winning streak away from Norma Dumont. So, if she can do that, holy shit, Jocelyn fucking Edwards, man. But we gotta see if she can do that. So, I'm excited. I'm so fucking excited for this fight, and see what happens here. The bang odds have Dumont minus 165 plus 140. Yeah, I would say that's fair. Have them close, but not crazy, not high or low. Edwards is taller and has a bigger reach, but Dumont is 70% picked. This is interesting. This is really fucking interesting. The dump truck versus the best Edwards in the UFC. What's gonna break? Can Norma lull Edwards into a fight where Norma wins a decision like she's done in the past, or can Edwards get another knockout? I guess you want to look at their Achilles heel here. Dumont has been knocked out before again by Megan, so it's possible. And Edwards can be grapple, well, at least back in the day, could be grapple fucked. So if she can't, then Norma might be in for some fucking trouble if Jocelyn can stop takedowns and really keep this in a striking match. Norma might have some real fucking issues here. But I'm gonna say Norma can squeak out a decision here. I'm gonna team dump truck, giving Norma Dumont here by decision. Could Edwards get them in the finish? Yeah, I think so. I definitely think if she's really gotten better from what we saw in the past, 100% she could win this fight and clip Norma and win, which would be insane. But will that happen? I say probably not. Again, I say more than likely no. I think Norma can lull Edwards into a Norm Dumont fight. Striking is kind of whatever, but just trying to get you on the cage and win. So I'm going Norm Dumont here by decision, but if A, Norma looks like how she did against Catlin, or B, Jocelyn can find that chin, this is gonna be an interesting one. So I can't wait. Such a good fight, and give me Norma Dumont by decision. Can she? Who's gonna keep their streak going and lock up a title shot? Can Norma look like Norma again, or can Jocelyn find that chin? I can't wait. Such a good co-main. Really should be the main. And give me Norma Dumont by decision. She wouldn't even be doing this fight if she was smart, but want to erase that Catlin loss in actuality and see if she can do it. Give me Norma Dumont by decision. And then, sadly, finally, we make it to the lame event of the evening. Not gonna waste your time here, because no one on earth gives a shit about this. We have in the lame event, that's actually a downgrade from Brady and Buckley, which was meant to be on this card. We have in a shitty fight no one cares about and it's easy to predict. We have actor lame Sterling versus You Suck the Lost. Yeah, I'm not wasting my time here. Easy win for Sterling by decision. Zalal's terrible. His career is made off Ilya going easy on him, and he sucks. I'm not Sterling. I hate Sterling, but even I can say he can kind of disrespect it a little much here, and he's easily winning this fight. So give me actor lane by decision. Simple, shitty fight, shitty main, shitty fighters, but Sterling's much better. Zalal's a joke. Give me Sterling. Next. Not much to say there. And with that being said, finally, boom. That was the breakdown. Go with my picks one more time. Julia Pilastri by decision. Max Griffin by decision. Francis Marshall by decision. Rafael Filho, my lack of the night by submission in the second. Michelle Montague by decision. Cedricus Dumas by decision. Rodolfo Vieira by decision. Ryan Spann by knockout in the first. Jaime Barcelos by decision. Davey Grant by decision. Huff Garcia by decision. Norm Dumont by decision. And actor lame Sterling by decision. Bang. Yeah, a lot of decisions. I truly don't know what fights could end in the finish here. Maybe, but I doubt it. If you're picking Victor, maybe. Not 100% sure there. Unlikely to both of these. Well, maybe, but does anyone actually give a fuck? Not likely. Not likely, probably not, maybe, and probably not. So I just see a lot. I just kind of struggle to convince myself of a lot of finishes here outside of the two I picked, and of course I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, I just don't see a lot of finishes here. It might be a really long, bad night in the Apex, but this is how I view it. So. And with that being said, not really too much else to be said here. Not a great card. Few good fights. Norm was a great fight. Grant, Ione, Pilastri. But outside that, Sterling's a joke. Garcia, Hernandez, whatever. The big three are garbage. Fucking, like, I don't know. I'm just not overly excited for this card. I'm almost dreading it a bit. And, can it at least be better than Canada? Fucking doubt it, but we'll see. Maybe the card over delivers, but I doubt it. Again, no matter what, the card looks terrible thanks to the main event, so you can blame that more than anything. And we'll see what happens here. So what happens is what actually happens we'll talk about on Sunday with a recap. Probably gonna be a stellar recap where I'm so positive about this card. I hope, because that means the card was good, but I'm gonna say it's unfucking likely. And yeah, what more can I really say here? Not a great card, terrible main event. Few gems again. Dumont Edwards should be the main event. And there's a few good fights, but aside of that, it's just not a good card. It's probably not even better than Canada, truly. Maybe by a hair, but that's not saying a lot. And just again, can at least, if this card can be like a 4.5 out of 10, I'd be happy. That's like a low fucking bar. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, but I won't be shocked if it's like a 3.9 or some shit, so we'll see. I'm not looking forward to it too much, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, not very much else to say there, so there you go. Sorry. That being said, not really much more to be said here. We'll see what happens at the weigh-ins tomorrow. I won't be upset if a fight or 3 get cancelled. Can the main event get cancelled, please? That'd make my fucking year. And yeah, what more can I say? So obviously we'll put picks in on Friday on stream, and Saturday and Sunday, you know the deal. Shorts, blah blah blah, you already know. So that being said, not really much more to be said here outside of. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't believe I am. I want to say it feels like I rushed through this in the second half of it, but then I remember, oh yeah, when did I start the main card? At like 58 minutes, and it's almost an hour and a half in. So, I ramble so much at this point, it doesn't even feel like time flies that quickly, but, you know, almost an hour and a half on this garbage, ain't that some shit? And, yeah, not really much more I can say there, so see what happens. I have low hopes for this card, and there you go. Just be better than Canada, please. That being said, not really much else to say outside of. Can't wait for Pilastri. My girl, if she wins this card, already gets like a 4. As always, RX out. Good vibes.